Good evening, true elf guardians of the land, and we are here back for the final race of week 3 of the Winterfest. jkoper, OOG, and Yakko starting with us today, and along with me is Vay with Camion, Dwaif, and Shihali in the background. And Vay, tell me what you're looking for here in this final group here, week number 3, group 9.
Well, we got that Neapolitan-ish flag set, which means it's got a little bit of vanilla in there. So, the vanilla maps are always kind of exciting. You know where all the locations are, but it can also be a headache because, everything's also really spread out. The permanent repel is also kind of an interesting bit because it could mean that our runners, you have to control your armor, right? Once your agi gets so much, you start repelling those easier monsters. So you got to keep an eye on that. Of course, we also have vanilla spell growth. So if you want heal more, it's level 17. If you want hurt more, it's level 19. But our runners probably don't need to get that high because we also have the Threes Company flag turned on. Can you brush us up? What does that Threes Company flag do, C. Parsley?
Basically, what you're going to want to do is get Princess Wayland. Don't turn him into King Lorik, but take her all the way down to the bottom of Sherlock and hand her as kind of like a gift over to the Dragon Lord. By the way, we have the talk, and we have an herb, a torch, and the key, so we will not have a reroll. Runners had chose that if the armor did roll into treasury, that they would reroll the seed.
Yeah, the torch could be useful for a quick early monster kill. You run into a ghost or something, chuck a torch at him. But we'll see. It looks like we're starting out in the vanilla, what are you going to call it? Airdrop tablet cave.
The tablet cave, yes.
It's not a bad place to start. You're kind of central. You got Garenhan just over there to the left. You've got 2 checks down by Tantagel and Brackenary. Not a horrible place to start.
No, and then you can go through. By the way, let's take a look. Level 2, 8, 0, 1, and 3.
It's not too bad. Good strength to get started off.
And these guys are still staying below the threshold to trigger those slimes, red slimes, and Drakeys.
Looks like YakkoWakko deciding quickly to go down and check the town down here. And there is a town at the Tantagel spot.
We have 2 towns. First one at Tantagel is a good old Brackenary.
What is this, Dragon Warrior 3?
To leave your candle on for you. And Catelyn, the second one. By the way, Garenham is also a town in this seed. Level 3 check, by the way, of 2, 1, 3, and 9. Garenham is surprisingly Garenham.
Good old vanilla Garenham there. Of course, no keys yet, so they can't check the back. Can't get the coordinates either in Catelyn, but pretty much all the shopping you could ever want is right here. It also means there's not a whole lot out there in the far reaches of the world, when they're out getting the rest of it, for pit stops and whatnot. We've already exhausted 3 of our towns.
By the way, level 3, 2, 1, 3, 9 with the heal, of course, as we have the vanilla spells. One thing you're going to want to hunt, though, because even though most of them will be caves out in the upper reaches, you are still going to look for Rimmildar so you can get those keys.
Yeah, either Rimmildar or a nice treasure cave with a key inside of it. Either one would get them.
And meanwhile, OOG is doing the old school heal more trick. Basically, talk to the guy, get your magic back, so now that you got your spells for heal, you can actually use them.
Yeah, it's not a bad play there, especially early on when money's hard to get. You don't want to lose half of it doing a death warp to restock. So good getting that magic, so we can use that heal. Hurt is going to come at the next level as well.
Yep. Now, they're not going to be moving out anytime immediate, but when you do, would you head out towards the coal location, or would you head south to like Mountain Cave and Hawksness?
I would probably head off to the west, or rather the east, towards coal, just because there's 3 checks there, right? You got Swamp North, the cave. What is the cave that turn in up there? I think it's the Staff of Rain turn in cave and the vanilla coal location. You got 3 that way, so you've only got like 2 to the south, unless you go all the way to Catelyn.
Yeah, that is true.
And of course, I believe the spike tiles are vanilla as well. So like we know that there's going to be a golem in front of Catelyn or wherever that place is. I'm pretty sure that's correct.
Actually, it won't be in front of Catelyn. Remember, it's been moved to the Dragon Lord spot. So it'll be your spike right before the Dragon Lord would be a good one.
Right, in front of the Vanilla Cantland spot, that walled off area.
That walled off area will not have a spike tile in this flag set.
Oh, okay. I was confused on that bit.
Because when they made the randomizer, they moved that spike tile from in front of Catelyn to in front of the final entrance for Dragon Lord.
Oh, I see. I see.
But in this seed, yes, that spike tile will be Golem, so you may want to get your Fury Flute.
And we got ourselves a death on YakkoWakko, taken out by a Demonite. Goodbye, half your gold. Hello, full health and magic refill.
And that jump of that bridge is nasty. You're immediately getting Wraith Knights and Demon Knights second you cross that bridge.
Yeah, it's actually quite interesting how the vanilla zones work. It really does. Pretty much the bridge is the start of the zone. They laid it out really nicely like that. So you
3 hit points, 5 magic points for level 4, of course, with the hurt. 11 movement as well, or agility points. Problem is for Yakko, as soon as he gets level 4 here, I think he's going to start repelling those slimes and that and won't be able to catch them anymore.
Yeah, unfortunately, there hasn't been a whole lot to fight outside of this kind of early zone stuff. It, as you said, it jumps straight up to like Demon Knights and Wraith Knights.
Well,
Magician's not bad.
A good one. Just north of the bridge, he's getting Magicians.
And I did see a Magidrake kind of towards Tantagel direction, so maybe that's the way.
And we have a 2505 for level 5 from jkoper. Koper, I think, is going to try to head to where the Mountain Cave normally will be, see what's going to be there.
Yeah,
First,
just past this swamp here.
Down towards where Tantagel is, you can go down to the end, you can see it. It is a town. And we have Hawksness.
All right, time to see what's on that spike and maybe behind it. Well, I don't know. I don't know if we're ready to fight what's on that spike yet. But
no, the only thing you could do if you wanted to is to see it and basically sacrifice yourself, but I wouldn't at this point.
You know, maybe you get the lucky crit, dodge, command.
Yeah, no. However, it looks like he is trying to at least see what would be the normal vanilla Hawksness spike tile. Looks like he's actually trying to get this skeleton.
YakkoWakko picking up some clothes.
25 big experience points for that. And we do have a cave in the vanilla Hawksness spot. Question though is he going to make it to see what it is?
So this wolf right outside of Tantagel could be good with heal and hurt. Yeah, there it is. This is a nice thing to sit on and grind at 40 a pop.
Yep, that'll get Yakko up to level 5 where everyone else is. And yeah, you got Brackery right there, so it only costs you 6 gold. And it's the jerk on the Hawksness tile.
So I feel like if you've gone this far, you try to make it all the way, but with only 4 HP, good luck getting to Cantland, or the Cantland zone area. But yeah, it's been like all the towns.
Yeah, this is the pay 84 gold, go back to home. So most of the western side has been done. Now you'd want to head over to eastern, see that swamp south, the north, and everything else. At level 6, while we were missing by OOG.
Yeah, there was a big, I believe, big attack power gain pick up there.
13, 7, 0 hit points, 4 magic. In addition to wolves, you're able to get scorpions up there right next to where vanilla Tantagel would be.
Scorpions are nice, skeletons are nice, wolves are nice. You know, these are all good, nice things to burn down with that hurt spell.
Yeah, good mid-tier enemies here. Meanwhile,
YakkoWakko making the way toward
the west. jkoper has the information of the east. Yakko's trying to get the information for the west here if he can get through this Stroll Magi.
All right, OOG takes down a wolf. Big whopping 40 XP there.
And we have a cave in the Vanilla North, Swamp North location.
Trying to think, is there even any other towns? Rimmildar and
yeah, you got Rimmildar.
And Cole. We didn't see Cole, did we?
Yep. And one of these three over here, well, not necessarily, but there's a 3 out of 4 shot. One of these is your link to the second continent.
I'm hoping for second continent to be behind Tantagel.
Yeah, that is
my
possible.
commentator curse.
Yeah, well, okay, that'll be 3 out of 5 shot then. Actually, 3 out of 6 because we could be behind. No, well, here's Cole.
Yeah, I guess it could be behind Garenham as well. Yeah.
Actually, you can't because you gotta have a key to be able to do that unless we'd have a broken seed. And there's the Silver Her.
Gotta love the harp zone.
And we have a club going up for YakkoWakko with his clothes.
Is that a club or a copper sword?
I thought it was club, but he might have done copper.
All 3 of our runners with copper swords. YakkoWakko with a pair of clothes on as well. A pair of clothes? A set of clothes? What are clothes? Pairs? Sets? Pair of pants? I don't know.
+2, that's what it is. Here's a town. And there it is, Keyland.
Good old Rimmildar. Not much money in the pocket, though.
But unfortunately, since he just bought that copper sword, he does not have money for the keys. But he is the only one that has that knowledge right now.
Yeah, and it's pretty much all towns on this first continent. I don't think there's any towns on the second.
No, there won't be any. There'll be nothing but caves. So you'll have both mountain, grave.
Chat agreeing that it's a pair of clothes is exactly 2 clothes, but we're not sure which pieces. I like that.
Yep, with keys now, it is possible that your swamp connection could be either in the back of Tantagel or in the back of Garingham, and we have down in the Vanilla Swamp North, actually Mountain Cave.
Yeah, with Swamp North being mountain, I think it's more likely that it's behind one of our towns, because the only place we haven't seen now is the Vanilla Cantillon location.
And that would be dirty and evil. If we really want to do a commentator's curse, that's where we put it.
Indeed.
And there's a key replacement for jkoper in Mountain Cave, so Rimmildar wasn't actually required.
Very nice. YakkoWakko picking up a couple keys here. Got 2 of them.
Up here. And for those wondering why the repel graphic is kind of like blurred out, that's because they have forced repel. It's always on, so they don't get that choice.
When I missed it, it looked like OOG picked up a leather armor and a small shield as well, so getting a little defensed up.
Yep, fairy water there in Rimmildar's locked chest behind 2 doors.
Gotta love fairy water and a seed with permanent repel.
And there's some gold. Well, you can use it to strike for what, about 14 to 16. Better than picking up yet another torch.
Yes, torch, permanent torch, and permanent repel. All chests are now torches and fairy waters.
And herb in the 5th chest for jkoper there in Mountain.
So Mountain, pretty much a bust other than that key, which, I mean, the key is big, but there are other places to get them.
Yep, and OOG is the only one without that key at the moment because he's continuing to grind.
And nothing wrong with sitting on the grind either, especially if you found yourself a nice place to do it.
Oh, hold on. He might have hurt us, because here he comes.
Oof, Rogue Scorpion.
Good old 20-point hit. Buddy enemy, not him.
Yakko going back for one more key before leaving the area.
Level A for jkoper, for those who didn't miss it, it was 0, 4, 1, and I forgot the magic. Sorry.
It's like maybe 3 if we're comparing to Yakko. At 7 has 30.
Sounds good. And truthfully, since we have the shop being vanilla, I really, really love Garringham's shop for this kind of a seed, because you're still going to get mid to a little bit towards the upper level of weapons there in that one shop in Garringham, and you don't have to really go out looking for, say, a Catlin or something else. Because by the time you get that much money, unless we have a gold grind set up, you're going to be at a point where you're going to try to take Princess Wayland down and get the Greg mode.
Yeah, and really gold grinding, I suppose, for the flame sword, but you kind of can put yourself in trouble if you slap on a silver shield and a magic armor too early there.
That is true with the perm repel.
jkoper getting his silver harp. Looks like OOG is in the mountain cave, so he'll pick up maybe an extra key and all of the herbs and things in there. He did
already pick up the one key that was in the top level. And he'll get the gold and now the herb as he comes around to the corner.
I'll tell you what it is, Shihali. It's not even randomized. It's Neapolitanish.
Yeah, 98% normal, 2% random.
The strawberry part's the red text on OOG's screen.
Strawberry jam? Why not? And of course, for those who missed the top 2, it was only a pair of wings and a torch.
All right, so pretty much everybody's seeing everything that everyone's seen yet. I'll be interested to see who decides to go to Tantagel, who decides to go to Garringham, or just get enough keys to check both, I suppose.
Yeah, the only thing that the difference in information at the moment is OOG has not seen the harp or Rimildar to actually buy a full set of keys, as he only has one.
And he'll likely continue exploring that direction while he's there, unless he gets sent home, which is unlikely, I think.
If you didn't have much money, I would agree to taking the death here, but yeah, you want to really keep that extra 600 that you'd lose by taking a death warp here.
All right, we've got a treasury check.
Yep, it's going to give us a look.
Herb.
Gold.
Some gold. Two herbs, a gold, and a fairy flute. Nice.
So that was mostly a bust.
So that gold grind is on the table should you want to do it, but as for reasons that we already discussed, I don't see it particularly happening this seed.
As I like to say never. You always get surprised by some runners. Underneath Tantagel is where we're going to head to next, and we have the freebie cave. This is normally where you trade in, and the vanilla stones and sunlight are there.
Not randomized at all.
So 2 pieces of the pie for jkoper, 2 to go.
So Koper crossing his fingers right now, hoping that there is a tunnel to the other continent behind this Garringham.
Yep, 50-50 at this point. Because if it ain't here, welcome to the long trip over to Catlin. Well, vanilla Catlin, it is.
Yeah, and forbid you get sent back home at any point and have to make that trip again.
Here's the other question. When do you start thinking maybe, oh, we have Erdrick's token, 3 out of 4 pieces. When do you, well, getting back to that, when do you maybe head back to Catlin and check for coordinates?
Ooh, that's a good question.
And it is not. You are going to head all the way down.
Well, have we got all 3 pieces? We've got the harp, we've got the token, we've got the stones. You know, the armor and the sword are not really necessary.
Well, the thing is, you don't yet have where the trading cave for the harp is.
Which has to be on the second continent,
you know where Jerk is. You just don't know where the harp traded, and that's going to make it a nasty because you're going to have to go to the second continent to trade in the harp, come back to first continent for the Jerk to go back to second continent. So you're going to make at least 2 full trips out to that vanilla Catlin.
That is correct, which means probably not a good idea to save the princess the first time through.
Not unless you want to start battling Dragon Lord the old-fashioned way.
Which is a minimum level 17.
Which is a viable aspect if you wish to, but yeah, compared to everybody else is going to be dumping off that girl, you probably don't want to have to get that high to beat them the old-fashioned way.
And just like that, Demon Knight says, jkoper, go, get out of here. Sure, you found a bunch of stuff. You found too much. Go home.
Yep, that's going to cost you a good old 608 off Guardian dollars.
At least he got some shopping done. Like, I saw him pick up top off on herbs and Garenham. I think there's a hand axe in there.
Well, we do have a divergence of what enemies everybody wants to do. jkoper's keeping himself as low as possible, only having a defense of 17, while Yakko's picked up a couple for 21, and OOG's picked up the most, running at 25. So what are they each going to be blocking at those numbers?
I am not the person to quiz on monster agility stats, but really I think just mainly the lowest of things is you can see jkoper's jkoper's got the least. I was going to say saw a warlock there, but I'm sure chat will let us know all of that good stuff.
Yeah, at 17, jkoper is still going to be able to see the scorpions. I don't believe OOG is going to be able to. Yakko is probably going to be on the border of seeing them. So the next question comes, do you stay over here and grind to get a few levels before making that walk all the way to Catlin? Or do you try to get to that second continent now and hope some good stuff is behind?
It's a rough question because you're bound to run into some Sharlock enemies somewhere along the way, right? So it's like, you can't run away with them with the low agility. So yeah, maybe you do want to pick up a little bit of experience first.
Oh, of course, as we always say around here, agility is just a number.
It is, until it makes you repel things. Speaking of some numbers, it looks like OOG picked up a chainmail as well.
Yeah, but that ain't that bad because it's just changing from close, so I think it's like a +4 for him because of that.
And it looks like jkoper heading back to those mountains, the Mountain of Wolf and Scorpion.
That's not that bad because right next to that, of course, is the old Elf Guardian 6 where we leave the candle on for you in Buccanary.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, like those wolves are worth 40, which is still great experience at this point. I think there were skeletons in those mountains too that are worth 25. So it's a pretty good spot to be.
And Koper with the lowest defense is actually going to still be able to see them. If somebody like Yakko or OOG head back there, the best chance they get might be to pull a wolf. The rest are probably going to be off the table.
You know, if they find themselves in a bind, if they haven't turned in their silver harp yet, you can always cheat the permanent repel by going into the harp zone.
True, but nobody's done it yet, so we don't know which 5 enemies are sitting in those slots. Meanwhile, Koper is trying to at least give us a look at the coordinates. He's going to lose half his gold getting back out, though.
Used almost all.
38 to the south, 69 to the east. Good luck, people, I would say, but we already have a cheat sheet to help.
That feels like second continent to me.
It sounds like that, but unfortunately, I was going to say, normally you'd say, okay, good luck counting that, but we do have a little cheat sheet that's been made up where you can plug in where you started at the coordinates, and it'll actually give you a dot on the map as to where that dig is.
Yeah, you can just count it off on the grid.
That has been deemed legal for all competitors.
Gotta bust out the map, start counting your lats and longs. Exactly, hot toddies. You find out where it is, and then find out where it is in relationship to like your closest town. Spectre, Chantin Hurt. YakkoWakko going to turn in that silver harp, get a staff of rain. Just checking off things from the list. We got Wolf Lord on OOG screen. That's a nice little upgrade from the Wolf. In fact, this little Spectre Wolf area is not a bad spot to be killing things. Chat confirmed we're about 10 steps from Vanilla Swamp with that coordinate.
So we actually don't go over. Interesting.
And now OOG finding the Hawksnest Staff Trade-In Cave. It's interesting that we're getting a Staff of Rain from the middle of a giant desert.
Okay, so actually then Jerk's going to be over the second side. You won't actually have to make 2 trips.
That's right, we did not see the Jerk on...
Yeah, because I counted that as the Jerk when it was actually the staff trade-in. But the only problem to avoid making more than 1 trip is you're going to have to try to be self-sufficient out there because there's no towns to heal.
Yeah, that is kind of messed up. So basically, what this means is, I mean, either you try to get it all done in 1 shot, which I mean, kind of a rough thing to do, but they still will also have to make the long walk all the way from Tantagel or wherever their last heal is to do the final dive.
That is true. Unless you stayed there and grind and then made it in 1 last trip. And none of these guys seem to be doing that.
All right, YakkoWakko, first one into the swamp cave, making his way south.
The only thing is, if you can pull off a good walk originally, you can go ahead and actually save Waylon right on the last trip back without him worry. Okay, so you have 1 to the north, 1 to the south. He's going to take the north walk first. And is this going to be your grave, or is this going to be the Jerk?
Spectre doing everything he can to stop us from finding out.
Yep, because those are the only 2 that we have left. And Selector puts him to sleep, and you don't even have the stop spell yet. You don't get that to level 10.
47 experience points later, we're going to find out what's inside this cave.
And that is Jerk. So down south is grave.
Now, what might there be in a grave that we want? An Erdrick sword would be nice. An Erdrick's armor would be nice. Some experience grinding would be nice. But how much experience do you really want to grind? Enough to beat golem is there? No, oh, there's a spike. And did we say there is a golem, but it's in front of the Dragon Lord? Is that correct?
It is in front of the Dragon Lord, the last spot there. So basically 3 pieces of the puzzle that's still outstanding, one of the which is course on the coordinates. So you've got Erdrick's sword, Erdrick's armor, and the Death Necklace still outstanding.
And of course the coordinates is going to be the Death Necklace. All right, here's this grave. YakkoWakko's diving it.
Yep, we have 3 at the top before we have to worry about a key. And we're going to go with the Fairy Water to start, followed by a torch, aka Nothingville, and still Nothingville with the Cursed Belt.
That Cursed Belt number 2?
Yes. So Hawksness and the coordinates are both in play, which means there's only a maximum possibility of one of those 3 pieces here in the bottom 2 deep dive. Because Hawksness will have probably one of your armor or a sword. Your coordinates will very likely have the Death Necklace, which will leave you with the other item being in here either in the 4th or deep 5th chest.
Droll Magi blocking Yakko's run. Luckily it cast a stop spell the first time. Burning an herb. All right, here we go. Chest 4 coming up.
And Magic says you get a key replacement. So it's going to be all the way down in 5.
Or it could be a bust. There's still all the chests in Sharlock, right?
Yeah, you're hoping not to have one of the 2 Erdrick's items to roll in there.
The armor's just a myth. Armor's just a number.
Well, let's see. We're going to find out number 5 here in just the proverbial 2 shakes of the chip feet. And the magic box says you can have nothing. Absolutely nothing.
So that's Cursed Belt number 3. All 3 search spots have something.
Yeah, because that would have been Nicole's harp.
Ooh, go ahead and hit the rainbow drop there. And so, yeah, that does mean our Erdrick's equipment all has to be on search spots, right? Because there's only 3 outstanding key items.
Well, no. One of them is going to be guaranteed to be in Sharlock.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We found the harp already. My bad.
Yeah, so Cole's already down. We have Hawksness spot. We have the coordinates. Both are going to be required. And then one of those 3, and it can't... Well, actually, any of them can be, would be rolled into Sharlock. And just to think, these folks were all worried about whether or not we were going to roll the armor in the throne room.
Yep, and it looks like, hey, there's that gold grind I said I didn't think was going to happen. YakkoWakko's doing it. Doesn't want to do any searching for any kind of Erdrick stuff.
Well, I say, definitely the Erdrick's flame... Well, I like to call it Erdrick Jr.'s flame sword would definitely be a valid play here. I might hold on to the gold, try not to die until I'm ready to dive to get the other armor so I don't block, but that will be up to Yakko to see here.
Well, and I think with where their Agi is now, even with a magic armor and a silver shield, like we're still able to fight things like Wraith Knights, things like Spectres. I don't know if we'd be repelling the Spectres or not, but they're already been fighting things that are pretty high level, you know?
Now look at this.
Knights.
jkoper found somewhere the Erdrick's armor.
Probably check the coordinate.
That's very likely. So therefore, that'll mean either the Death Necklace or the sword is underneath Hawksness.
Now, interestingly, jkoper is going into Sharlock here. Princessless. Oh, he's going home. That's what's happening.
Well, I think he was going to try to hope they'd see if the sword was down in the treasury, and if not, then die. Pick up some experience along the way.
And yeah, we're seeing a full grind here on YakkoWakko, so we'll see a full set get purchased in Cantlin shortly.
So I expect to see a nice save here just in case. Nope.
Now he's seen the monsters between here and there. There's nothing.
Oh yeah,
Nothing to worry about.
It's real. I forgot Catlin's virtually next door.
Little wolf for good luck. They're still good experience.
Yeah, so this will be likely his last wolf he'll be able to do, because once he traps on all three, wolves will be gone from his repertoire.
Well, jkoper selling off all the
I was gonna
curse.
say, is he gonna go fairy water strat here?
Maybe try to ferry down. Yeah, I could see that. Maybe, or not. Just clearing some space, getting some gold. Got to make room for that dragon scale.
For dragon scale. Come on, make the chat happy. You know what the chat wants. Go next door. Go ahead and get your, radish.
It doesn't count if you don't have the princess with you.
And chat is in revolt. No radish. Yeah,
We've got a
ordnance.
fully kitted out YakkoWakko here, minus the Erdrick stuff, but flame, silver, magic.
We'll take him to 69, which is surprisingly only 6 points back of Yakko at 63.
Must have been a lot of agi at level 10. Well, they're different builds, are they?
I believe, yeah, he's running the strength HP, the Z.
I think OOG has a different build too, maybe.
Cloper's running the J, while OOG is running the OOG question mark combination, and I'd have to pull out my little check to see which one that fits into.
Well, the double OG?
Double OG question mark. Cloper's about ready to try to show us what's in Hawksness here. Of course, we're going to have the Axe Knight is going to be your enemy.
Yeah, Axe Knight, you've got Stop Spell. I think that's kind of, if you can do that, you're good to go against the Axe Knight. Is that?
That's going to be your best play. Ooh, Green Dragon just barely letting him out with 3 points.
Oh, plus the Erdrick's armor helps a lot.
Still going to be taking 22 at a shot here.
Oh, the back attack, and now he can't get away.
Gets away with 2 points. Heal up again. He's got to get a first. There you go. Get a first attack to try your stop spell. And does get it.
Got to use those herbs for the better healing.
Yeah, because it is possible that...
And we're fairy watering the Axe Knight.
Well, it is possible without the herb, the Axe Knight could swing past your regular heal spell.
Yeah, exactly. The heal spell is kind of not great in Dragon Warrior 1. I believe the randomizer makes it a little better, but it's still not a fantastic spell.
We do give a few more points than the vanilla, because vanilla you could even get like a 10 from a heal spell.
There's that blocked sleep, so stop spell paying off.
And here it is. Which one? Do we have the sword? We have the Death Necklace. Sword is in Sherlock.
Womp, womp, womp.
Hey, that means I get to play my favorite game. From the Kingdom of Elfgard, it's the 25,000 gold pyramid.
I don't know if we'll be getting sword checks, though.
Well, even if we do, then say we can, of course, do the 51, 152, 253, or, of course, the judges table.
My money's always on the judges table. Because I give bribes.
Other, as long as you get bribed, you keep your hand off that little buzzer saying an illegal clue, eh?
right, so our runners getting themselves kind of situated after their first trip over the sea to the second continent. Everybody's got their rainbow drop or bridge made. YakkoWakko sitting with a full set flame sword, magic armor, silver shield. jkoper has found Erdrick's armor that was sitting on the coordinates near the Vanilla Swamp South location. Also rocking a large shield and a hand axe. OOG still sitting with low defense power, chainmail, small shield, but it has a nice broadsword to counter.
Well, here's the thing. I could see Yakko doing this without even looking for anything else, just trying to make the dive. The only thing I don't like the 5346 max numbers, but everything else could be potentially in a chance to go if you want to take that miracle dive.
Yeah, it's now they do have to go through all of Sherlock, or does this cut us out into the bottom floor? No, we saw the top of it. So
this is a full Sherlock.
Yeah, so that is a rough dive, but doable. You've got to run from a stuff, and that's where the agi kind of kicks in.
Yeah, take it from a guy who did it about 5 or 6 times last night on level 12. It's doable, but not preferred.
Yeah, especially with it being such a long walk, right? Like you have to go like if you get sent home, it's all the way back to Vanilla Cantlin and then all the way back from Rimmildar to...
For these runners, by all means, yes. And say, my run last night, Sherlock was very close. But yeah, these guys, yeah, you're going to have to go all the way around the far left side of the map, down through the bottom, up to getting that cave to get over, and then from there, getting up and around.
So we've got OOG picking up herbs. I'm not sure what YakkoWakko's looking for.
I don't know either. Maybe Cooper's now going for that gold. No, I don't think he would.
I saw him doing stutter steps earlier. I wonder if he confused his east and west and is looking for the coordinates.
That's possible.
But everybody has the grid map, so that shouldn't be an issue.
If you remember to use it. I didn't remember for about 5 minutes in my run last night again. But coming up next, of course, once we finish out here, we do have the pairings show for week 4, so stay tuned for that. If you're wanting more Dragon Warrior, you can head over to FF Randomizer as they have the memorial race for a great member of our community currently going on over there as well.
So, yeah, I'm not sure what YakkoWakko is doing here. He's repelling all the monsters, so experience has stopped for him as long as he stays in this area.
That, and I really don't get jkoper either. He's doing the world's slowest gold grind.
jkoper picked up the gold. I figure, okay, we got Hawksness was a bust, so let's just get ourselves a flame sword, I think is what's going through his mind there.
He did that like 3 times in a row there. As I said, the real slow gold slime.
Just a broadsword.
The only thing is you only got enough for a broadsword max here with 1900.
Maybe he miscalculated the last grind. I'm not sure.
And he might not even have that after he buys keys here. He's buying them at the more expensive location than back over at Tentagel.
And YakkoWakko heading back to Hawksness. I'm not sure if he was able to beat the Axe Knight last time, or maybe he just wants the 130.
130! That's when you go ahead and pick up 2 of the triple 20s and then really screw up on your third dart.
Exactly. You hit the 10. Lots of sleeps from this Axe Knight, so plenty of doubles.
Yeah, that's kind of like the same luck you like with the Dragon Lord Part 1 when you want to go ahead and hope he does the stop spells rather than hurt ores.
Of course, it takes several more swings, YakkoWakko using the Flame Sword, whereas when jkoper did it, was with Fairy Waters.
Yeah, but hold on, this might do it. No, only a 12. He's not getting lucky. He's going to have to use the spells now, and he's still not getting the luck.
He's been burning through those heal spells.
Well, he burned through all his herbs first. Now he's having to burn through the heal spells because the herbs are gone. And he can't get... There we go. He finally got a spell out of him.
It's still not enough.
7. Oh. X-Knight's not playing nice here.
He is not.
Yeah, and now you're at a point where he can
Final heal.
heal.
Oh, he's still got herbs.
Left to use, but he's back to 9 again. At what point do you just take a swing and hope that the last one's the one you need? Oh, he finally gets to sleep. And only gets it. God, this game, a 6 finally does it. And now
all after a death necklace.
The death necklace.
And the worst part is he's already done a big giant gold grind, so there's nothing to even sell it and spend it on.
Yeah, you can't even go, okay, I got $800. Well, duh, I don't need that. And
Raid boss down, exactly.
Well, it looks like OOG and jkoper both going for Gwaylin here. OOG deciding against it, jkoper going for it.
The green dragons, what do they got? They got a baby breath and a bite. Do they have any magic spells?
The vanilla green doesn't. It just has the level 1 breath and the bite.
Still gotta fight through it, doing a little more, putting up a little more resistance than the Axe Knight was.
OOG heading down to Grave Cave. Yakko trying to get to the vanilla Caitlyn so he can get over to second.
jkoper really putting that fairy water to use, trying to sleep lock this green dragon and use fairy waters on it.
He needs that green dragon to stay asleep. And curse of the commentators, he wakes up.
jkoper is going for it.
Down to 12. If he goes here, he's got to make sure this is the hit. And
it's down. Oh, no, it's not.
Good heal. And last 6 does finally get it done.
Meanwhile, YakkoWakko, princessless, but making the way to Sharlock, it looks like.
Yep. Well, we do know the sword is there. It won't be a huge boost for Yakko since he has the flame sword, but it can be. Meanwhile, jkoper does have Gwaylin, but I do not does not have the outside spell, so he has to beat the green dragon a second time.
Oh my goodness! And this time, no fairy waters.
And no luck. Go home. Gwaylin, back to your cell.
Outside is what, level 11, 12?
I believe 12. Because you got stop spell at 10.
Well, at least he got 135 experience points out of it.
Meanwhile, OOG is unfortunately going to hate himself here once he finishes, as he's deep diving grave and going to find out the 2 womps.
YakkoWakko never did check the coordinates, I don't think, so doesn't know where to go. Or maybe does. Maybe he's searching it right now.
He is, but it looks like he's not using the map that we have. He's doing what we like to call the old brute force technique.
Yeah, I think he got his north-south line. Looks like jkoper picked up a level. There was a decent amount of hit points there. He's up to at least 60. Oh, OOG is also level 11. God, just missed all the level ups.
Yep, everybody's 11 except for YakkoWakko.
Looks like maybe YakkoWakko also didn't quite have the vertical North-south count just right.
Yeah, he's done the whole line and still missed it. Now he's going to go back the other way. And I think
And with everything repelled, it kind of also means XP has stopped for him while he does this search.
Yeah, unfortunately, because he's going to be in an area where most of the enemies that he's going to be looking for are not there. And
that's how I feel whenever I go to a convention. All the animes that I'm looking for are not there.
Yep, and he bails, going back to Tentagel.
So YakkoWakko giving up on that, looks like.
And that's the one major problem of the Neapolitan, or what we usually refer to as a vanilla-ish season when we do Winter League, is, yeah, you normally would love to turn in Gwaylon to get the GPS Gwaylon positioning system to do the count. Unfortunately, here, you do that, you basically are really saddling yourself big time, taking your easiest way to win the game away from you.
Exactly. You get that Gwaylon on, and then, well, we're going to 17.
Alrighty, OOG's doing a gold grind.
So we'll see what OOG goes for the whole set, or just one thing. I feel like if you're going to do it, you might as well go all the way.
Yeah, OOG just wants to pick up some nice, valuable merchandise. Make sure he at least leaves with a parting gift. Doesn't go all the way, though.
What did he get? Flamesword money?
Yeah, I believe we only got it close to like 10k. At least he knows which shop it's going to be in. If you want the flame sword, you actually have to unlock the door.
All right, jkoper is in the swamp cave again and is going to take another shot at this green dragon. One level higher now, but can't get the sleep.
The thing is, he's still got to take 2 green dragons to get out with Gwaylon. He's got to take the one getting in and then the one leaving.
Yeah, I didn't catch how much his strength gain was from level 10 to 11. But it looks like it's pretty decent. Now he's doing kind of in that fairy water range worth of damage. Oh, even a little better. Yeah, just thought that because he's been using fairy waters.
He's doing fairy waters. Yeah, because with an attack of 63 minus the green dragon's numbers, you're only going to look for about 9 to maybe 11 or 12 on your attack.
YakkoWakko now also doing green dragon.
And Koper would actually be doing less, because Flame Sword is for Yakko. By the way, Yakko does die.
Alright, so now Koper's got to do it again.
Yep, and this is going to be probably at best 10 to 12.
Gets a back attack, so he runs away.
But did not heal. Just immediately went right back up.
This confuses the green dragon.
Sleep fell second time. He's only got 11 points left. Needs a run. The only thing is, I think Yakko is going to be in trouble here. I think he's actually repelling everything that's in that area that he's trying to grind back and forth on.
Yeah, that big silver shield and magic armor is kind of biting him in the butt a little bit there.
Yeah, with 79, he's going to need to be getting at least, say, Demon Knights and the like.
Green dragon is asleep. Oh, we're using the hurt spell against it.
jkoper's also in that same boat. The only one that's going to get the lower enemies right now is OOG. And that knight is about the absolute lowest Yakko's going to be able to see.
So jkoper is able to take out the green dragon the second time, has 13 magic points left, and it looks like he's going back out the north.
Yeah, here's the thing. You can go ahead and cast, well, you don't have a return. If you have wings, you can throw the wings up to Tentagel, but don't go in Tentagel. Head over to, say, like, Breckenary. Heal up there and still keep the princess without turning it in.
Yeah, well, he could even go into Tantagel if he wanted, as long as you don't take her to the king. I think she's safe.
She is, but inside, I figured Breckenary would be a quicker deal instead of doing a walk all the way around for the magic lady and then having to cast the spells repeatedly and then heal it again to be able to get the magic back a second time. Unless he's going just to Catelyn and then using that as the heal.
Or maybe he just figured that we haven't seen this lovely vanilla map enough yet, so let's go walk around it a little bit.
It wouldn't be Catelyn, but whichever town's in the corner. No, he's going to go all the way back. There's a town just to the right there.
Maybe figuring use Garen to also herb up. But yeah, that's right, there was a town at the mountain. I think you just realized it. Or no, what are you trying to grind the mountains?
The problem is, I think his number is going to prevent, I think, about at least 3 out of the 5 that would be in the zone.
Oh, that's right, that was Hawksness that was over there, not a healing town. And yeah, I don't think we're catching any monsters in these mountains here.
Yeah, unfortunately, this close back to start, he ain't going to see enemies much at all. So go get your healing, get your purchasing, and get back going.
Gary Ham. Top off on herbs, take a little in.
Gary Ham, now there's no more ham. Because Gary ate it all.
Now, our Sharlock is going to have vanilla Sharlock monsters. What is easy Sharlock? I know that's a flag that's on.
I don't think we have an easy Sharlock on. It's full Sharlock, which means you're going to be looking at blue dragons, red dragons, AK-47s, wizards, werewolves. All 3 versions of the dragon, green, red, and blue.
So yeah, short is off, easy is on. What makes it easy?
When I ran, there was no easy, so I can't answer that one for you.
You saw the regular
I got
the usual suspects in there.
Yeah, so you got all 3 dragons. You had Star Wyverns. You had Stonemen. You had AK-47s.
Oh, see, it just changes their agility stats, makes them a little easier to run from. According to chat, which is usually...
yeah, but somebody should have told the game that. They didn't.
It reduces your agility when you go in there, not the monsters. How messed up would that be?
Yep. Well, Yakko's now going to try to pick up Gwaelin. I guess we're going to be getting a level 11 and 12 attempts here at the Dragon Lord.
But right now, this green dragon's kind of the Dragon Lord. He's given everybody some problems, but jkoper is looking like maybe... Oh, no. Yeah. Making a run for it.
Yeah, he's already healed. He bought up his herbs. He's going to be heading directly to the Dragon Lord. Rather than Sherlock. And jkopers are middle of the 3 individuals as it comes to Dale. Does have the large sword, shield, but not the silver. Does have Erdrick's armor, and only with a broadsword.
YakkoWakko actually in a nice position where if he beats this green dragon, it should shoot him up to level 12 in that outside spell.
The only thing I would have loved more from Koper is to maybe get that flame sword. He's right, because he'd be attacking, say, mid to upper 70s with it. OOG back to start, unfortunately, off of a Demon Knight.
YakkoWakko burning through herbs, swinging at this green dragon. He takes it down.
Meanwhile, Coper on basement 1 of Sherlock starts with a green that says, no run for you. Gets away on the second attempt. Axe Knight's next, away in 1.
YakkoWakko gets a princess.
Yep, Gwayland positioning it in his hands. Blue Dragon in basement 2 gets away in 1.
He's heel walking down here. Gotta love it. You gonna fight this green dragon or spend your 6 MP?
Blue Dragon 4. There's a Stone Man. Gets to sleep him, does get it done, and shouldn't immediately run. So blue and stone in basement 2. Basement 3 now. Lord jkoper.
Alright, so YakkoWakko actually opting to fight this green dragon.
Interesting. Stoneman again for jkoper, again taking the sleep approach. 1 hit point, does get away.
Cast outside, cast it!
He's got level 12, he could do it. Or is he at 11 still?
He hit level 12 on the green dragon, which I thought was the strat, but seems not. 7, it only costs 6, is that right? Or is it 8?
He might not remember he has that spell since it just ticked over. No, he's not at 12 then. Because he would have that. He would have the outside, and the last spell that was in his list that just popped up was stop spell.
Meanwhile, we got jkoper doing a treasury check.
There we go.
Here
Jeff, which box are you going for? He's going for the sword. I'm going to go 100.
My money's still on the judge's table.
$150 has gold. The 100 has a key replacement. 50 has the fighter's ring for 2 attack. He's going to don that up. 200 has the sword. If you had 200, you have tonight's winner.
And there's the red D.
Fun Police gets away in 1 though. AK.
Here's the red knight.
There's the stop. Gets away in the second. AK again. Big problem here is going to be whether or not Golem's going to play Knights with him once he gets around.
And Green Dragon spanks YakkoWakko, sends him home. Was not able to get it done.
Coper can't get away from this AK. Gets away at the last chance.
And Red Armor Knight says, go home, jkoper, find the princess again, make the long walk.
Yep, as the old Mike Tyson's Punch would say, give up, retire, go back, make daunting process. Oh, sorry, that's Ghouls and Ghosts when you have to play a second time to win.
However, the old Edric sword should make the Green Dragon fight a little better, at least.
Should make it a lot better, actually.
All right, OOG, still continuing this grind a bit, has done a good job of keeping the armor low so that he can fight monsters. And again, you know, is at level 12. He's not going to have this double green dragon problem that our other runners are having.
I'm going to be honest. I don't get jkoper's play here. I think you were good. I think I just get back down there.
I'm guessing jkoper also wants that level, that level 12. Get that outside.
By the way, while we were missing, Oog picks up level 13. And as you can see, there is no HPs between 11 and 13.
HP is just a number. And there might be a little bit of health. I think Oog is on a non-HP build. I could be wrong on that though. I didn't check with the weird spelling. There's a mountain of magic points though at level 13, which could help with healing along the way. Yeah, Koper and YakkoWakko both are tired of losing to the Green Dragon the second time around.
That might be the deal, though. Koper might have just been going for that outside spell, and then we'll make the run. And that looks like what he's doing. Koper's on the run.
Magiwyvern trolling Oog over here.
And then he
his
hears
back.
me and goes back to the enemy.
I mean, when you see an Axe Knight on a spike tile, you just really want to fight him. It's ingrained in our DNA.
Warp so he can get back with his full supplies and then go. I would be definitely surprised if Koper doesn't immediately go down after loading up with supplies, get the Princess Waylon, and go directly to Sherlock.
Looks like he's fairy watering up for this. There we go, YakkoWakko hitting level 12. Big mountain of magic in the outside spell, and he is getting the heck out of here.
Alrighty, so our two runners are going for Koper and YakkoWakko. Meanwhile, Oog is going for it as well.
Yeah, I would say Oog is probably making a dive at this point.
Yep, this is going to be a three-way mad dash here. Koper, the only one with the benefit of having Erdrick's sword from the first dive.
Oog's got a level on him, with a bunch more agility too, which can help with the running aspect of Sherlock.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can see Oog not worrying about the sword, just going straight through.
Interesting that he didn't pick up any armor at any point. You know, kind of like once you're ready to do your thing, armor up. But, yeah.
Yeah, at this point, though, he could be thinking everybody else is just about ready to finish, so I don't really have the time now to go and set up a gold grind, grab the gold, go to Gatling, get the armor, then go.
Yeah, exactly. It is a race. With these winter flags, you start pushing an hour. You start thinking people should be finishing.
An hour and 5, yeah.
And here we go. jkoper, first one into the mountain cave.
Not mountain cave, but swamp cave. But
or rather, yeah.
Ooh, get sent back to start, unfortunately.
And that could be that armor right there, right? It could have been a thing that he would have repelled, maybe, with the magic.
I don't know if necessarily repel, but it at least would have made sure that he probably wouldn't have taken as many hit points, so therefore you'd have been safe. The only other thing I can think of is if he's got that map and he knows exactly the coordinate for that armor, he may be thinking, I don't need to purchase anything. I'll just pick up Erdrick's armor from the search spot.
Yeah, pick it up on the way. Totally makes sense.
Me enough defense to worry about the rest of the run.
Chat confirming it was a green dragon that took him down outside of the swamp.
Jkoper down to 16 health.
And he could have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for those darned kids.
Okay, Jkoper is out to the second continent first with Gwaylin.
And he is going to take her back up for a heal. Oh, no, he's not. I'm sorry. It looked like he did. I thought we were on the other continent. He's going straight to Charlotte.
Second continent, there is no healing spots here. This is all one and done. So Jkoper first back into Charlotte. OOG trying to get around. Yakko just picking up the princess. At this point, you have to give it Jkoper's game to lose, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, Charlotte is still nasty. He doesn't have much more agility than he did before. Actually, maybe a little bit more, but...
Yakko, however, is not going straight through. This may open the path to OOG, even if Jkoper wins, to get second, pick up 3 big points.
Now that is a very long walk home. In a seed like this, it's always nice to have some wings in your back pocket just in case of a thing like this.
Yeah, I was going to say, if I was going to make this play that Yakko's doing to go heal back up, I would have definitely not left without at least 1 or 2 wings.
Of course, you need level 13 for the return spell.
Yep, and OOG actually has that spell. So if he does want to heal, he would only have to walk it once instead of twice like Yakko's doing. Once there and once back.
Gotta get through these rough monsters, though. Ooh, OOG's spell is blocked.
But OOG gets away with that last attack.
Wouldn't be Neapolitan without that strawberry letters. Red Dragon for jkoper. He gets away from it. Dragon Lord floor.
Yep, Jkoper, again, is one to lose here, but the only thing that he had trouble running from last time was those AKs.
He gets rid of 3 of them, ditches 3 of them in a row there, but it's chasing him down the hallway.
And it's like, get back here.
Oh, right into the Red Dragon's trap, but he dodges that.
Yep, he went ahead and had one of those little radar detectors and avoided the red fun police's block.
Of course, this Axe Knight here thinks that's a spike tile. It's not. You don't have to be there, Axe Knight. Or Armored Knight, rather.
Here comes that spike tile with the golem, which you can use that fairy flute that we picked up in the treasury. Actually, at the beginning in the throne room.
Alright, not bad. Got 2 swings on that before it woke up. Got to get it back to sleep, then heal up, then hit it again. And it looks like OOG is back home.
And the golem's down. Just make sure you do not miss menu here.
We may have a winner, folks. Get those GGs ready.
Yeah, as long as you don't miss menu. Normally we tell them no and you'd be told a fool. Here you got to make sure to say yes. And there it is. GG's in chat. jkoper picking up 5 big points, going to 9 in the Winter League score table. We'll get an official race time, GG time here in just one quick second. Well, 1 hour, 12 minutes and 55 seconds as weird fanfare gets played in the weirdest of spots, the Dragon Lord.
All right, and with our other runners, we got Oog fighting a Wraith Knight here, maybe trying to get a little more grind experience. YakkoWakko has Princess in hand and is making his way to Sharlock. We'll see if the dive is as nice for him as it was for jkoper. Of course, YakkoWakko doesn't have that Erdrick's armor, so he has to make it through all of those spike tiles, including the big...
including his big 15s. Oog, I think... Did we lose his stream, or did he throw the flag up? All right, Oog is given up. So as long as Yakko finishes, he will get 3 points, second place points.
Yeah, I'm guessing Oog was just not feeling it after all of the damage taking there. Yeah. YakkoWakko having to heal through all of these spikes. Or barriers, rather.
Yep, this is going to get interesting because he's going to be using that magic really hard, especially with only the 3-point heal available to him.
He does get a little bit of heal walking with the magic armor here. And as long as he's not getting encounters, he's doing all right. And it sounds like we got jkoper in the booth with us. Congratulations on your win. How are you feeling?
that was something.
Did you enjoy walking across the map all of those times?
No. Man, it's so hard to manage though. Like like buying wings is always on my mind in these flags, but it's not like wings are a free inventory slot, so you can't just stack as many as you want, especially when I'm trying to do other stuff. Man, why did it run away on the bottom side of the green dragon? That's what I want to know. I thought that only happened in some specific flag. That's not on this one.
No, I think any time on a spike tile, if you run away, it puts you back to where you came from.
I mean, that used to not be the case, but
yeah, I'm not sure. Oh no, YakkoWakko gets taken down by a red dragon in Sharlock. There's a delay on the screen.
I think Yakko's trying to do, because if he forfeits, he's still going to get the same forfeit score that Oog does. If Yakko continues, he will get the bonus points for picking up second place, but it's up to Yakko here. While we're waiting for that, Koper, how about your feeling when you found out that every single town was on First Continent?
Yeah, that was something. And then putting Swamp at Cantlin, I mean, it was nearly a worst case scenario as far as the walk that you'd have to make to
yeah, because here we were like, okay, maybe it'll be behind Tentagel. No, then okay, maybe it'll be behind Garrigan. Nope, and then we're like, oh dear God, they're walking.
Yeah, and just really rough as well with the the green dragon gave you some difficulty, and then with outside not happening until level 12, so it's like, well, both you and YakkoWakko both had some issues with that green dragon on the second, coming back side of things.
Yeah, your first time when you were able to use those fairy waters, you were fine, but then the problem is, since you weren't 12, you couldn't get out, so then the second time he's like, time for revenge.
Oog, on the other hand, did a lot of grinding, had gotten up to level 13, but never picked up decent armor, was still rocking chainmails and small shields, and I think got frustrated by getting smacked down by knights and green dragons and things.
Oh, I mean, if you use the tool, then the Erdrick's armor is free, basically. Does Yakko not have Erdrick's armor either? He doesn't.
Yakko does not have Erdrick's armor. Yakko looks like was not using the grid tool to do the search, and so spent some time looking for it, but couldn't find the correct tile.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's That's kind of disappointing. I feel like I had an advantage just from paying attention in Discord. But I mean, I don't know. It's not anything that.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel that way, honestly. I mean, that tool and other maps like it, things that put Alifgard on a grid, have been there since Vanilla Dragon Warrior has had things on the internet. So I wouldn't feel too bad about that.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that tool we're talking about was actually introduced last Winterfest.
Well, yeah, but I mean, even without the tool, if you have a map of Alifgard with a grid on it, it's the same thing as the tool, just without numbers already on there. So, I mean, there's definitely things that have been in existence for a long time.
Yeah. So I knew when I searched there that if it was the armor, that the seed could really kind of turn south a bit. And it sort of did. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna go, manufacture a victory against the Axe Knight, and then if I can beat him, still got a chance at the sword there. And sorry, I turned off the volume on my TV. Yeah. So I figured I had a 1 in 3 chance of still being able to function throughout the seed. And then I got a pretty, I don't know. It was just weird because I figured, okay, the sword is probably in Sharlock. I don't want to dive the grave for these 2 chests, so I'm gonna dive Sharlock anyway. I might as well try to take the princess with me, but that was a huge ordeal, just trying to get the princess along with me, because of those resources required, and then I had to refill. And, oh my goodness.
Yeah, very rough. And, the very low hit points in this seed was not helping anybody either. Or maybe it just feels low because we only got to level 12, but it seemed a little on the scant side.
Yeah, I think it's a little lower than average for sure. For level 12, maybe.
Yeah, Yakko seems to be going for 13 as his play here.
Oh, he's that's funny. We could have gold grinded right there. I never really considered that. That would have been something to do to get a flame sword, I guess. Yeah. Because after that point, a gold grind was pretty much off the table. Because it would have been so hard to die.
Yeah, you would either have to walk. I suppose you could do it out of Sharlock, but otherwise, you would also have to find the mountain and hope there was a monster that could beat you there. Yeah, and I think they were pretty free, both the mountain and the grave, just in terms of the monster set.
Yeah,
So,
depending on how soon you went over to him. Yeah.
Had I not found the sword in Sharlock, then I would have considered doing a gold grind for the flame sword at that point, I guess, and maybe a silver shield too. I don't know. But yeah, I knew this. I thought about getting gold grinding for the flame sword even before I did the search tile. But I figured I'm going to take the 2/3 chance that I'm going to be okay. It didn't work out, but that just made it really weird and interesting, I guess, because it's like I can hardly kill anything, and I've only got 60 HP, but I was trying to win the game anyway, because none of those things matter, I guess, as long as we can get through. And I almost made it through the first time down. Just died to that armored knight with like a quarter of the last floor to go.
Yeah, you were very close right there at the end, and it was still like interesting. Like at the moment you were doing your final walk to the dive, like all three of you were heading in that direction, and it looked like we're making goes for it. But like Oog got stopped in front of on the way there. YakkoWakko got stopped on the way there, or inside Sharlock. So you had Erdrick's sword, you had Erdrick's armor, and that certainly put you at an advantage over the other two. I don't think either one of them have the armor.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it from what you said.
We're thinking maybe Oog was planning on picking up the armor on the way, because I think he got the coordinate check, but just never got to that second continent.
No, I didn't even bother to check.
Oh, Oog, you're with us.
Enough health.
Let's not speculate, and we can hear it straight from you.
Yep, go ahead, Oak.
There wasn't enough health. There wasn't enough strength. My RNG, at least on my side, was just awful.
It seemed you were focused a little more than the other runners on grinding up. Like you had gotten to level 13, 12 for jkoper. YakkoWakko's at 12, but looks like is grinding to 13 right now. But you also held off on armor, right? You were at a chainmail and a small shield, whereas the others did upgrade a little earlier.
I was thinking about it, but all of those back attacks and spells not working, and then getting killed, and then losing all of my gold.
Yeah, kind of hard to go shopping when you don't have any money.
No. And I'm, the one thing that would have made this immensely fun, no permanent repel.
Yeah, that does throw the wrench into things, right? Because you have to think, when do I upgrade my armors? And when all of a sudden do I not get any experience, right? All of a sudden you're walking and the experience stops because we can't find enemies.
Oh, I mean, going through... see, if I were to have went through Mountain Cave and Grave with only 2 encounters total in a non-permanent repel, I would be happier than I don't know. However, on permanent repel, that's not a good thing.
All right, looks like YakkoWakko is doing another attempt at it. We're walking through Hawksnest Desert right now. This big empty world through the mountains to the south.
Yeah, it
Green
was
dragon.
Kind of crazy when we started repelling everything in that northern zone.
Who were our people behind the scenes tonight?
That's a great question tonight. We've got...
Get the links
Kami.
out there and get everybody to follow to grow the community.
We got Kami on the Harp Knight taking care of the restream. Meanwhile, we've got... who is that? Shahali is on the tracker, and
Joanne's the other one.
Well, I want to thank all you guys for putting on the race, for doing all the good stuff behind the scenes. But I have to go and rage destroy some teams on Tecmo Super Bowl.
Good
enjoy.
luck and have some great touchdowns.
Take care, guys. Thank you.
Remember, once we do complete here with Yakko and jkoper, we do have the results show, giving you guys what your pair-ups for week 4 will be coming up next.
Absolutely. Something must have happened to YakkoWakko. We're back through the Hawksnest Desert. He is definitely going to push to get that second place there.
Yeah, he's got interesting equipment here. So we assume he's not going to search for the armor then?
I don't think so. What had happened was he had a gold grind set up fairly early and bought the full set.
Mm-hmm.
And then some time ago he was looking for the coordinate. It looked like he had just done a one coordinate. He had found the north-south and was just searching every tile, to the east. But he must have been off and was not able to locate the tile that had the armor on it. So I'm not sure if he would go back and do it again or not.
Yeah, I considered casting outside the second time in this swamp cave. Instead, I ended up using a nerf on that green dragon. It's better. I think maybe giving up 6. I don't know. I don't think the herbs were really all that important in the end. Because I think I could have beaten the golem with just heal spells. It just might have taken longer.
Yeah, the thing with the golem is you don't know how many swings you're going to get per fairy flute, right? Sometimes he stays asleep and sometimes he doesn't.
Yeah. Overall, it was pretty smooth, especially that second type. I mean, we had just a mountain of agility there. 86 agility at level 12, right? So,
Yeah, it's pretty good. All right, green dragon down.
Yeah, is he gonna cast outside now?
Let's see. I would, but unless he's going to try to go straight through. But even then, outside and then just walk straight through. Yep, there's the outside. And he's doing a return to top off the magic points. Don't turn in the princess. Are you going to turn in the princess? No, this is MP. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say you definitely don't want to be turning it in right now.
Yeah, Aaron, to you too. Don't save the game. This is not worth saving here. You can't. Oh, wait. No. Oh, okay. Keys? Need keys?
To be honest, I don't know why, because I don't think there's going to be any place you will need a key.
I mean, I guess if he plans on searching the... I don't know why he needs 6 keys, but perhaps to search the treasury in Sharlock? Maybe he does want the sword after all?
Yeah, hard to say.
Could also be prepping for, like, if I lose and I have to go and rescue the princess again.
Yeah, but do we think we need to rescue the princess 6 more times?
If he lost,
I hope not.
He's at that point too. So I don't know.
Cyberdark, the swamp cave is at the vanilla Cantlin location.
All the way around in the middle of nowhere.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like he doesn't need the sword.
No, I don't think so either. I think it's more of a safety. I think he probably picked it up just in case I have to go again. But yeah, a bit of a troll of a map here. We've got vanilla Cantlin for our swamp cave. All of the towns are on the first continent, so there is no like being on that side and healing and grinding over there. It's just a long, long walk.
I mean, Garen Hammond is also vanilla. So address the chat, so that's also a perfectly valid place to refill.
Princess is on her way to the Rainbow Bridge. Gonna cross that Bifrost. And of course, no monsters were repelling the entire overworld at this point.
Also, remember, Yakko will have to take the full 15 damages from everything.
Yeah, that's the biggest disadvantage, I think, with not having Erdrick's armor. I mean, the heal walking is nice, but the having to stop every 2 seconds to heal with my 60 hit points that I have kinda sucks. And with no heal more, it's the baby heal. All right, we've made it past the barrier tiles. Floor 1. So far, so good. We're repelling maybe some low-tier Sharlock enemies, too, like the werewolves, the wizards, I think.
At least for this first level. Once we get down towards the bottom, we won't. But at least here in the opening level, you may be.
Yeah, I think I was even repelling
Well,
wizards.
yeah.
And he's got the silver too, so.
Yeah, 4 extra points do give him a couple enemies that are going to be, not many, but a couple that get repelled.
Now, YakkoWakko opting to fight this Axe Knight here rather than run from him.
I don't know if that's going to be the right play here, because with that easier... Oh! Excellent move, dodge!
Of course it did.
I don't understand.
But with the easier run algorithm, I think I might have wanted just to go ahead and try to run away.
It could be just that flag isn't on the top of his head, especially at the end of something frustrating like this.
Sorry, go ahead, jkoper.
He's got 87 HP, or 87 agility. There's no reason to fight anything, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's almost burned through about half of his magic already.
Magic's just a number.
Yeah, well, my bank account's balance is just a number 2, but if it's too low, you ain't gonna do anything.
I'm fine if you share your routing number and your account number. That's fine. What is it
Yeah,
again?
only if you guys are making deposits.
Just send me some Google Play gift cards. It'll be all good. Here we go. Red Dragon. He gets away.
Here we go. Final level, just gonna make the trip around. AK says no first time from the run. Gets away on the second. Not going for the sword, just going around.
Nothing but red monsters on this floor. Red dragons, red armor knights.
Red numbers. And
Red Dragon says, go home.
Did not take a heal and instead goes home.
And we're off again.
I think my my last time I didn't fail or run. I might have failed like one run the whole time.
Yeah, you were running like you were getting encounters every 2 or 3 steps, but running from each of them.
Yeah, you were having great char luck.
Yeah. So certainly fortunate.
Good old Sharlock.
Anyway, I'm gonna hop out and my day. Thank you guys for doing the restream stuff. We'll look forward to week 4.
Absolutely. Thanks for stopping in, and again, congratulations on finishing first on tonight's race.
Thank you.
No problem. Have a great night. That was jkoper along with us. Again, we're just waiting for Yakko to finish up. The moderators are in the background waiting for that week 4 announcement show, which we will have on here immediately following Yakko's finish.
See, and that's what YakkoWakko's real end game is he's just trying to hold back that anticipation and that build that tension to find out what the standings will be, because we can't calculate it until he's finished. It's the ultimate troll.
At this point, I think he's about ready to get those guys going. Can we rebalance everything and put him in group 1 with everybody who's got 15?
All right. Got to get that heal spell. Green Dragon bites. It's biting still pretty hard.
Here's your problem again, as we talked earlier. You ain't going to be able to heal outside of a Green Dragon's bite most time.
Yeah, even with big silver shield, magic armor, and high agi, it's got a pretty sharp teeth on that thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, because he rolled for 19 and then got 2 20s that the Green Dragon took. It does luckily slide by with 18 and does not decide to heal. This might be a bad play. Especially in Sherlock, we learn very quickly, if you manage to run away from somebody, do not even take one step. Heal and heal quickly. The next step might be your last.
Yeah, I think here in the in the swamp cave, he's repelling everything. But once he gets out there, well, he'll be healed up by then too. Oh, take her to the king. No, okay. I was thinking maybe, hey, maybe we just turn her in, get the coordinate check for the armor, and beat the Dragon Lord the old-fashioned way.
No, or you could say, okay, yeah, I'm going to finally forfeit, but I'm going to do it with the ultimate swag. I'm going to turn her in, then forfeit.
Usually, if I'm going to forfeit, I do it by accepting the Dragon Lord's offer, but that's like how you win in this seed, so...
Yeah, Dragon Lord, you want to go ahead and give me half the world? Fine. I'm taking the Western continent. You can have, what? Antarctica?
Is he going back to Hawksnest? Oh, okay.
At this point, we got to start wondering if he's just trying to troll all of us going, is he there? No, he's there. No, here he goes.
Could you imagine if they added like Survivor game features to this? So if you're carrying Gwaelin, you're over encumbered, you move half speed.
Oh, dear God. Half speed, and you go ahead and lose 5 hit points per turn because she just weighs too much.
Exactly. That's if you fed her a bunch of radishes first.
Yeah, that's when you turn around and you go, where's Lydia, so I can dump all this stuff on her instead.
AG over too when carrying Gwaelin. That works.
And I was thinking Skyrim, but that'll work. Meanwhile, we, for a minute, had OOG giving us a little bit of Techno Bowl before the graphic came back up.
There's actually a Tecmo Bowl flag that you can turn on. If you choose one of the Tecmo sprites, it will change all of your dialogue options and things to Tecmo stuff.
I believe that's actually an alternate ROM set that just hacked the graphics in, but who knows? Kind of like some that used the Winter Elfguard ROM set that just made all the grass snow instead.
Yeah. I know it makes some changes. It might not be all of the full like spells and everything, but I think it does make some changes. Like if you choose Bo Jackson.
I'm not even going to go there. Because Bo don't know Elfguard.
Axe Knight fight. Oh boy. And now we're in even worse. I think the Axe Knight hits harder than the Green D.
Yep, down to 4. Up to 28, but all the way back down again. Well, this time you got lucky. Light hit.
And you're just waiting for that sleep.
Now you got a lucky.
What is he at 25% sleep? I'm guessing, not a 50.
I believe it's like 25. Can we get one of the trackers to put up X Knight, please?
Yeah, 25% sleep. So it is having to wait a bit.
There you go, Vic. Fortunately, again, he's going to take these 15-point shots here, which is going to really hurt. Especially since we're already down about just getting close to half magic already, and we haven't even got up into the basement.
That's all right. The basement's just a number. All right, we've made it past the first floor. Of course, it's the bottom where we really have to worry, where the red Ds and the Axe Knights are, or rather, Armor Knights are.
Yep, all the red stuff is waiting for him on that basement.
Back attacked by a blue dragon. Opts to run from this Axe Knight. I'm not sure what the fighting them earlier was about. Maybe figures it's safer than running, but I don't think so. All right, we're almost there. We're in the U room. Rectangle room's next.
So I like to call it the Run for Glory room.
Putting Stony to sleep.
Yeah, because Stoney's basically 100% sleep shot, so the easy way, spend one turn, sleep him.
Yeah.
I said almost 100%, and you gotta prove me wrong there. And then run.
Only to get attacked by Red Dragon next. We're going for the sword. Maybe he's hoping armor's there.
That's the only thing I can think of that he's praying that it's the armor. That's the only play I can come up with here. That is the reason he's doing this. He's probably also in the back of his mind really daydreaming and praying for a double. Picking up both the armor and the sword.
Well, we're going to be a bit disappointed, aren't we? At least we'll get a sword. Oh, Red Dragon Treasure Guard.
Yeah, but it ain't a treasure card. But I think he's thinking it might be. Because he decided to skip it. Okay, there he goes back. Finds out, no, it's just a replacement key. There's some gold. And there, unfortunately, is the sword. That's the only one you're getting. Yeah, he was home for double and only got one.
So do we go back to the judges' table, or are we going to fight the golem as is?
Please don't. Okay, good. I was going to say, because I would feel bad for him if he goes to that judge's table.
Well, that Erdrick sword is going to help out with that golem fight, make it go a little smoother, I think. It's not a huge jump up from the flame sword, but still pretty decent. And he got the fighter's ring too, so that adds to it.
Yeah, you got the sword boost plus the 2 extra for the fighter's ring.
Chat noting the MP is getting loaded. I think he still got his full herbs, or he just used one of them, so he does have that going for him.
Yeah, he is down now to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single heals.
So he's hoping for long. That excellent move helps a lot.
Oh, he's really hoping for that to go into sleep. That's the biggest catch.
So he gets 3 swings on that sleep there.
And that's a lot more
heal because it's doing more than half your hit points.
With Golem, that's definitely a lot more swings than you normally get. Usually, like there, he wakes up as soon as you make 1.
So we got to blow that Poke Flute, put this Snorlax back to sleep. Oh wait, wrong game.
No, Snorlax allowed, valid reference.
I'm pretty sure Snorlax just directly ripped that off from Dragon Quest.
Alright, barring a misclick, we'll have GG's for Yakko, who, even though it took longer, will still get the second place 3 points due to OOG's surrender and forfeit.
Yep, get those GGs out. We've got a finish time of 1 hour, 47 minutes, and 53 seconds for YakkoWakko20.
And with that, the week 3 is concluded. We'll see if Yakko wants to come in. If he doesn't, we'll get set up for that results show.
After a long run like that, my first run is to the restroom before I do anything.
Hey, no problem, Vay. If you need to, if he comes in, I'll cover you until you get back. And our restreamer coming on back into Dale's check just to see if he wants to come in or if we're going to go straight over. All right, sounds great. And by the way, welcome on in, Mr. Yakko. I'm sorry, no, that wasn't Yakko. That was the guy for our post-game show here coming in. There's our wrong one, but we'll get it. Meanwhile, we're waiting. Yakko will be with us just momentarily.
God, Cyberdark, we wasted the good intro on you.
I'm sorry.
Just kidding.
Cyberdark will be along with us as soon as we finish with Yakko for that week 3 recap and into the week 4 show.
And just to recap, I know we mentioned earlier, but behind the scenes today, we had Kami on the Harp Night taking care of the restream, Shahali and Juf doing our tracking today, our salty trackers. I'm Velu V, and joining me is C Parsley in the announcer's booth as YakkoWakko is taking a moment before coming in for a post-game interview.
And in addition, please also follow our runners today, YakkoWakko20, OOG, and jkoper. And since we have a moment, make sure you also do follow Cyberdark, who will be with us momentarily for that results show. You can definitely give his channel a follow as well.
And of course, after the interview, we'll have the pre-show for next week where we will preview the standings and pairings or quadrarings. I don't know how you want to call it. Groupings, I suppose, for next week. And then after that, we'll be rating Final Fantasy Randomizer will be the next place to go to FFR for the raid.
So while we're waiting, I'll actually ask you, Vay, what are your thoughts on week 4's flag set coming up?
Boy, I have to take a look at them. Let's see what those flags look like. Random percento. Is this the, we've got tri-states. So nearly everything's on tri-state with random percent, including random growth, random maps, speed hacks are all on, which is nice. I always like it when the speed hacks are on because it means things like fairy flutes become more viable. It also has the rotated dungeons, which when I'm running it throws me off. Fortunately, I'm not in this tournament this year, so I don't have to deal with it. But yes, the rotated dungeons always kind of mess me up. And there is also this. Sorry, the rotated dungeon and stair shuffler are both off. My bad. But then everything
those are about the only
tri-stated.
thing that are not in the tri-state flip.
Yeah. But nearly everything else is tri-stated, which basically means it could be on, it could be off. You just won't know until the seed starts. So that really, it's kind of hard to prepare for such a thing, you know?
Yeah, I love to remember it as kind of like a joke that was told in the old 1980s movie Short Circuit, where he's like, hey, you go ahead and take money to God, toss it up in the air. Whatever God wants, he keeps. That's kind of like the luck you get with this tri-state. Whatever the game wants, it keeps.
Absolutely. And welcome in, YakkoWakko. Good job finishing up that race. How are you feeling right now?
Every year I am reminded how much I absolutely hate auto repel.
Yeah, there was a couple times we saw you walking around and it was like the experience has stopped. But it is what it is, I suppose. You had a little bit of trouble finishing up there. The Sharlock was not nice to you. What other than that? Any other particularly challenging bits or maybe exciting bits of the seed for you?
What was exciting about that seed? Not much. I mean, early towns, okay, but late towns, unfortunately, that was a struggle. A lot of backtracking.
Yeah, we pretty quickly realized that all towns are on the first continent, and it's a long walk to the second continent. So there's none of this like get everything and battle up close to Sharlock. That was not happening here. And yeah, as you said, there was a lot of back and forth walking for all of our runners, not just you.
Yeah, so finally I just grinded just to get number one to get stop spell, then to get outside, then to get return.
Yeah, both you and jkoper both went after that green dragon without outside the first time, but there were definitely more than one attempt for that green dragon.
Yeah,
in fact, I think
unfortunately, they
jkoper
changed the
also went to
time.
level 12, so both of you were at 12. What was going on with you now attempted to do a coordinate check? Is that correct?
I guess you could call it that. Yeah, I guess I probably figured it out wrong, and at that point, I wasn't going to do a million backtracking and doing a stop save just to look for it. I was kept going. I'm like, let's maybe armor's in there anyway.
So maybe something to tuck away for future. There is a tool and a couple of like maps and things that folks have been using this week to kind of plot out where it is on the vanilla map, in order to just see which tile it is by looking on a map. Maybe worth checking into the next time. I'm certainly there's a thing to be said for doing it the old-fashioned way. But yeah, we were kind of like, oh no, he's not going to be able to find it.
I would have loved to have had that tool. If someone can DM me some cheat codes and let me know.
Yeah, I think it's on the Discord somewhere, maybe in the training thing, and I'm sure somebody will be happy to send you that direct link to it. But yeah, I think that would have made a big difference for you too. It was the armor that was on the spike there. jkoper, I think, the only one to get it though.
Yeah, I kind of deduced that when I found the sword in the armory.
Yeah, we were thinking when you went in there, you were probably hoping maybe you could get the rare double.
Well,
I was kind of. Oh,
by
go ahead.
process of elimination, I knew one was on the spike tile, but I was like, maybe at least it'll be the armor. If I get screwed over again, at least it won't be as I won't have to use as much MP to get back in.
Yeah, and actually, yeah, you had deduced that the other one had to be on the spike tile. I was going to say I was secretly hoping you would also check the judges table, just because we had seen you suffer so much. What's a little bit more?
Well, if I'd gone to the judges table and there wasn't anything in there, I probably would have been thrown in the Sharlock prison.
You have been judged. Well, have you got any other final parting words before we pass this off to our hosts to show off next week?
Well, let's see. How bad is it next week?
Oh, next week is
Tri-State.
Tri-State everything. Good luck preparing for that.
For those of us who do Tri-State once a year, please do remind us.
And of course, the reminder of Tri-State is happening right now. Next week's going to be Tri-State, and Tri-State means you have no idea until the seed starts that flag has been turned on, and that's practically every flag.
With the exception of we will not have the the rotated maps or the stair shuffle.
Because that would be just too much.
Those are actually kept for the playoffs.
My recovering brain, I don't think, can handle that right now.
The other thing is, and here comes the weirdest thing, you actually will even get your Tri-State on your death necklace. So until you start, you don't know whether there is no death necklace, the death necklace for 10 points, or the vanilla death necklace that's 1 out of 32 that's bugged and does absolutely nothing other than cursing you.
So could there potentially be 4 curse belts?
No, I still believe it's 3. The other thing is you won't know until you try to throw a torch or a fairy water whether you can actually use them as a weapon or not.
So lovely.
Lovely.
Because, of course, in vanilla, you couldn't do so.
All right. Well, since we're talking so much about week 4, should we
Yeah,
go
should
ahead
we-
and toss
should
it
we
over
br-
to our week 4 hosts to give us the recap and demonstration? It looks like that's what's on our screen right now. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to.
Yeah, let's say, let's
Ask
bring
Mike.
on in Camion and Cyberdark.
Oh, that's right. It's Sunday night. We were the last ones. You were all waiting on little old me to figure out what was going on. Sorry,
I knew
y'all.
he was doing it on purpose. I knew it.
No worries. We enjoyed watching it. All right.
Well,
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, yeah, so go ahead, Cyberdark, and Camion, take it away.
All right. So in the week 3, that was the last race, of course. We had 2 races not shown. We will try to get them in at some point. Nothing else to be going up on the YouTube channel, just like everything else that has to right now, which we're slowly working on. But these are our top 16 as of right now. So after week 3, these will be the people in the playoffs. No big surprise here. But yeah, 13 points to 10 points. Usually, I think for playoffs, you usually need around 14 to 15 points. So you can see our top 4 players only need basically a third place in the next 2 races. As you get down further, like, you know, the last 5 there would have to at least win 1 or get a couple of seconds, couple of thirds, or a second and a third. Looks like it's maybe around 16 points. But we've got 2 weeks left, 2 races to get points. And these are the bottom racers. Again, most of us are still able to get in. I mean, you take our people with 5 points here: Dweemage, Opti, OBL, Bob Pineapple, Steve Parsley. 2 wins could get you in. 2 wins could very well get you into the playoffs. So no one is really out yet, except maybe Harvey's. Week 4, as you guys were just saying, random growth and random map are on. They are not tri-state. Speed Hex is on. We've been using that the whole tournament. Rotate Dungeons and Stair Shuffle are off until the playoffs. That is not going to be randomized here. What is tri-state? So it could be on or off. Shuffle chests, random chest locations, random spells, random shops and prices, random XP required, heal hurt before more, random abilities, Death Necklace, Battle Torch and Fairy Water, random monster zones, random monster XP and gold rewards, random monster stats, scared and scaled medals, open and short Sherlock, summer sale, don't require keys, map size, invisible heroes and NPCs, treasure guards, big swamp, no armor in Sherlock, and easy Sherlock. Yeah, this is a lot that we don't know what it's going to be. And of course, summer sale and treasure guards, they are per item or per location. So you could have one thing that's treasure guarded and one thing that's not. There are a couple of trackers you can get in the training room, the Discord, or you can make your own to keep track of what flag is on or what flag is off as you go. So, our groups. As Aaron said in chat, Harvis has been withdrawn from the tournament due to inactivity, which normally would put us at 44 razors, a perfect 12 groups. However, we did have someone have to withdraw for reasons, so we are down to 11 groups. There will be a group of 3. Group number 1 would be RG, Sandcraft, DB2, and Big Slamu. What do you guys think about that group?
Oh, are you asking us? I think that
Yeah,
should
sorry,
be a
I
fun
was,
race
yeah.
to watch. I'm sorry. I was like leaning back. No, I think that should be a fun race. I think all of those runners. I'm not familiar with Sandcraft, but the other 3 on that list are all vets and should be a good matchup.
I've had Sandcraft in one of the races I've called, and say all 4 should be a great combination to go one I definitely would not want to miss.
All right, group number 2. Sorry if I'm a little bit delayed here. I'm watching the restream, not that came on screen. We've got Old Vampire Lady, High Spirits, Stags, and Ragai.
Ragai, of course, looking to get out of that 9-point range, so probably looking to stab Stags and High Spirits in the back there. Maybe Old Vampire Lady through the heart with a stake. So I think that's my thought on there is Ragai trying to get up out of the middle grounds.
I'd have to agree with you and say if I'm a right guy, I probably could not have got a better draw here for week 4. Perfect time to make his move to get back into this competition.
Sorry, Vampire Lady.
Group number 3, we've got Pav, Scarlet Shadow, OOG, and Angel FM.
Again, should be a good one. Angel FM tends to dominate races, but I think it should Scarlet Shadow, OOG, all of them, Pav, all of them could possibly put him in for a run for his money, especially like with this flag set and everything being so randomized. It really anybody.
Number 4. Ziggy, Nimenva, Hoodie Two Shoes, and Artorias 308.
This should also be a pretty good race. Nimenva's been playing for a very long time. Hoodie Two Shoes and Artorias are consistently top runners, so that should be another really exciting one to watch.
Yeah, so far I'd consider that the death match for this week so far. Of course, we still have 6 to go.
You request to regroup. Nope. This was randomized a few days ago, so it's staying where it is. Group number 5, Just Chris, Venicus, jkoper, and Ladab.
I think that should be another fun one to watch. Again, I've watched all of these. I'm not as familiar with Just Chris, but I've watched all the other 3 runners before, and they tend to put on a good show.
Just Chris, more the newer individual to this group, but never count anybody out, especially with Tri-State all over the place.
Very much so. Group number 6, this is another good one. Destiny, YakkoWakko, Edge, and Mand.
Yeah, now here we've got all 4 veteran runners. I would definitely want to tune in to see this one.
Yeah, these guys known each other for a while. Nobody's going to be able to get one over on them. It's going to be a question of who can make that play with those Tri-States.
Yep. Group number 7, we did have, again, this was randomized ahead of time. Bob Pineapple, I believe, had to withdraw. So we're just going to leave the group as it is. This will be our group of 3. Aaron 2U2, Zaytrek17, and Quinn Patrick.
We got a group of 3 for the Tri-State. That is very fitting, I think.
And if I'm Aaron, I'm loving this draw to continue on towards the playoffs.
Yeah, blank is the real winner of that race.
All right, group number 8. Silly Dabbit, Opti7, Beta Strep, and IC10AS.
Is there any group where it isn't going to look like like all of these groups are looking like a lot of fun to watch? I'm actually looking forward to next week because I have not seen anything that looks boring yet.
Neither have I. And say they're all about the same level. This should be a great matchup.
Is it even randomized?
I'm starting to wonder if these are vanilla.
Week 4, by the way, is very hard to randomize the groups. Week 1 is easy, of course. You just hit randomize so many times and that's it. Week 2, you try not to have any rematches. Week 3, there may be rematches because of the position round. So week 4, you have 3 other weeks that you have to try to get around. And then week 5 is position again. So, group number 9, yeah. Joof, Kigalis, Chadbert, and Sonnyrath.
If I'm Juf, I'm not liking this draw, but it should be a great, hard-fought battle between all four.
Absolutely. And I'm just seeing all this chat talk about wanting invisible sprites, and now you have yet another thing for me to wish for next week.
Hey, maybe some of us commentators will have to curse it before it's ruled to make sure that happens.
So group number 10. We've got DK, we've got Jackamus, Miplet, and Archfield. And that's another big group there.
That most definitely is a great bunch. Unfortunately, though, I'm already doing the math in my head on who I'm getting paired of because I've got to be in group 11.
Absolutely. And I'm kind of excited to see who is that. If you've done your process of elimination, who could it be?
Well, I've got to be there too.
I've got me, Cyberdark, with Dweem and Sausage Link, if I have it right.
Yep, that's for sure.
So, Parsley and Cyberdark, what are you thinking about next week's matchup?
Well, I'm thinking Cyberdark goes 1, I go 4, and who knows which way to.
Oh, I don't know about that. Random percent week can do a lot of things. I'm certainly not guaranteed any first place. I'm not guaranteed any first place in this league at all, but yeah, we'll see what happens. It's how well do you know your flags? I'll tell you right now, I do not.
But that should be a great group. You say American Dweem, Sausage Link, yours, of course, Truly, and the other Truly here and there, Cyberdark. Yeah, I don't really see a bad group on any of these 11.
No, not at all.
Absolutely. Of course, next week, flags are just a number, the number 3. And so we'll be looking forward to that for sure.
All right, so give me some time. I will get you all in your groups tonight. I will post up the all the groups on the spreadsheet, and don't start trying to talk to people about scheduling until we get you all in your group because they may miss it. But give me an hour; I'll have it all done. And with that, take it away. Finish us off here.
You betcha. Thank you, everybody, for stopping in tonight for this last week 3 round of Dragon Warrior Randomizer Winter League. Again, we had Kami on the Harp Knight taking care of the restream. Shahali and Juf did our tracking. We had a post-game show by Cyberdark86. I'm Velu V. C. Parsley is also with me in the commentator's booth. And why don't you take us out of here, C. Parsley?
Alrighty, so with that, we're going to head on over to, I believe it's Final Fantasy Randomizer, where I believe they're still playing the Memorial game here. So with that, we'll get our guys to track us on over. Stay with us for a great night of Randomizer. Until then, have a great day. And in Elfgard, make sure you always be nice to your king.